Hi, I'm Llama Gucci from Ashijima's farm and you're watching Disney Channel. "7 minutes of heaven? Really? Yes. Come on, don't be a party pooper, Iwa-chan. What are we, 5? I can't speak for you, but I know I'm not. Asuga-san, I see you're right in front of me. Lovely, isn't it?" A sly grin formed on Kiru's face as he fixed his gaze upon the silver-haired boy sitting diagonally across his very irked boyfriend. The only thing your lips are touching is my fist." Kiru let out a playful whistle, his smirk widening. "No one said you couldn't join in on the fun, Daichi-san." Before Daichi could react, he was met with a pair of soft lips, the gentle fingers of his lover caressing his cheek. When his eyes fluttered open, he was met with his boyfriend's big beautiful hazel eyes. "I won't kiss anyone but you, okay?" Daichi smiled. Of course he knew that. Ignoring the whistles and hollers surging in the room, he watched his boyfriend strut back to his seat. Kissing before the game? That's cheating. Wonky. Daichi squinted his eyes at Tanaka and Tsukishima before letting out a low laugh. On the right of Sugar sat Kenma, his back slumped, his lips holding a displeased frown and his eyes piercing holes at the raven-haired boy on the opposite side. Kiru was halfway through laughing when he caught a sudden glimpse of Kenma, whose eyes widened as he instantly looked away. What was that about? Kenma? Kenma's eyes shot open, though he refused to look up. Why are you avoiding me? I'm not. Then look at me. Kenma inhaled a sharp breath and slowly looked up at the concerned eyes of the other. If I did anything to make you mad, please tell me. Kenma parted his mouth open to speak, but instantly shut his mouth when he saw the deepened frown on the taller one's face. Why does he look so sad? No, I'm not mad. That was sort of a lie. In reality, he had no idea what was causing all of this pent-up tension in him. You sure? Yeah. Kiru walked to the small slender boy, whose expression continued to regress the closer Kiru got to him. Wow, what are you doing? Aren't we supposed to kiss or something? Like a character out of a horror movie, Kenma stumbled backwards. The words out of his mouth came out as a stuttering mess and his eyes full of terror. Wow, what? Kiru placed one of hands against the wall, cornering Kenma, and leaned down, looking down at him. You heard me. Yeah, but, do you not want to kiss me? Why is he saying this? Is he really going to kiss me? Kiru laughed lowly, his breath sending shivers down the other's spine. Tell you what, I won't kiss you. The strangled breath that Kenma had been holding onto was exhaled. If you have to try out for Nakoma's team. Kenma's eyes shot open, his trembling fingers gripping onto the hems of his shirt. And if I don't? Then I won't kiss your lips, but you're definitely getting one on your cheeks. So what do you say?
Kenma inhaled sharply and crossed his arms with an annoyed look on his face. Why are you doing this? It's not like you want to kiss me anyway. That's very presumptuous of you. Or are you just a flirt? That made Kiru raise his eyebrows. What makes you say that? Kenma looked away, immediately realizing his mistake. Nothing. Tell me. Kenma shook his head. If you don't tell me, I'll start calling you Ken. Kiru smiled cheekily, earning a glare from the other. You're despicable. That I am now. Tell me. Earlier. With Suga-san. Huh? Kiru scrunched his eyebrows in confusion but relaxed when he realized what Kenma was talking about. Oh wait, you mean when I was teasing him about us possibly kissing? There was a moment of silence before Kenma nodded hesitantly. That was just a joke though. I know, but it still sounded flirty. Kiru opened his mouth to say something but paused, smirking. So if you're pointing it out, does that mean you're jealous? Shut up, of course I wasn't, I just observe a lot. Sure, whatever you say. I'm serious. Kiru looked down at his watch. You do know that I'm not letting you out of here until you give me an answer, right? 4? Kiru looked at him with a deadpan expression. Are we gonna kiss, or am I gonna see you at the tryouts next week? What if I wanted neither? Sadly, that's not an option. Why do you want me to try out so bad? Do y'all not have a setter or something? It's not that. I just would really like to play with you. You know, the spring tournament nationals, win it all, with you. Kenma blinked, too stunned to speak. Everything he was hearing felt so foreign, like Kiru was speaking another language. He'd never been made feel special enough to this degree. Even though they'd been friends for a while now, Kenma still couldn't figure out why he was put on such a pedestal by Kiru. Did Kiru really have that much faith in him, or did he have something else in mind? I'm not good at it. From what I've seen from all our leveling up sessions, I know you will be amazing at it. Kenma frowned, fiddling with the hem of his shirt. I don't know if I can keep up. Kiru's face was suddenly inches away, so dangerously close, while he looked down at him with a soft smile. I believe in you. Why? Kenma breathed out. Because I think you could be our brain, the thing that makes it all make sense. I would make it all make sense? Hesitation danced in Kenma's eyes, but when his gaze was met with Kiru's, he gulped and slowly nodded. Fine, if this is what you want, but if I feel overwhelmed, I will quit. Kiru's eyes widened in astonishment and he stepped back a little. Holy fuck, you actually agreed to it. I can't believe this. I'm so happy. Kenma rolled his eyes, fighting the urge to blush. You're such a goofball, you shouldn't get happy over this. but I am. I half expected you to pick the kiss. I decided that it was wise for me to not contract your cooties today. Today? So you mean there's still tomorrow? Kyorou grinned cheekily and Kenma was about to open his mouth to say something when a voice interrupted him. Time's over 7 minutes, guys. Kenma headed towards the door, but before he could leave the room though, Kyorou's words stopped him in his tracks. By the way, if it were up to me I would have been more than okay kissing you. Crimson painted the tips of Kenma's ears and he turned around, squinting his eyes. Shut up, you flirt. Kenma slammed the door shut with Kyorou's laughter roaring in the background. Damn, y'all went over 7 minutes, must have been one hell of a steamy session. No it wa. Did you guys actually kiss? Tell me, we didn't. Kiss? Kyorou scoffed, making Kenma's chest tighten. We made out like tomorrow didn't exist. Hinata's jaw dropped and Kenma's eyes widened in disbelief. What? Is it true, Kenma? Of course not. Yeah, I'm actually meeting his parents tomorrow. Kyorou smiled sweetly at a confused Hinata. Kinky. Shut up, Kyorou. No, that's not true, he's lying. Lying doesn't suit you, Kenma. Kenma was too embarrassed and stunned to speak. Damn bro, you actually got game? The fuck are you surprised about? Oh nothing, just that 2 hours ago you were practically drool. Not one more word from you. Bahaha, the look on your face. I agree, it is quite funny. What game? The only thing this idiot knows is volleyball. Shut up, Saltishima. Haha, good one, Tsukipu. I told you to not call me that. Why are you laughing, Bakudo-san? You also don't know anything besides volleyball, which is mostly spent on your mental breakdowns. Goddamn roasted him. Kashi, how could you say that? He got you, owl head. Shut up, rooster head. The conversation came to a deafening silence when they heard giggles coming from beside them. Kenma? Rooster head, that's pretty clever, I can't unsee it now. Kenma chuckled lightly, bringing a grin to Kyorou's face, which was definitely noticed by the others in the room. Damn, you can laugh? Shoyo. Hinata laughed and the others followed, laughing along. Satori? Yeah, what's up? Would you be okay if I invited someone to do Animal Kingdom inspired photoshoots of me? Huh? It's nothing serious. I just would like to give my farm animals a calendar filled of me so they could be inspired to be alpha or whatever people say these days. What the fuck are you talking about? Exactly what I said. That's weird on so many levels. And this is coming from the Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life advocate. Okay, well, do you want to be in the closet again? Like ungay myself? What? No, I am just horny. Bro, that's so TMI. It's perfectly normal for boys my age. Wakatoshi. Tendao shook his head and left the room. So no head? Shut up and come with me, dumbass. Ushijima bowed to the others in the room and followed suit. What kind of spirit has possessed him? That man is deeply troubled. This is weirder than the time Kageyama and I picked a fight with Ushijima in the streets. You guys did what? The annual Oikawa vs Kageyama match is happening now, we're picking teams. OMG, let's go. Fuck yeah. Hinata pulled Kenma with him and everyone except for Kyorou and Tsukishima left the room. Aren't you going? I am, but you may want to focus on your shoelaces first. Kyorou looked down at his shoes. What do you mean? They're tied? They're not even untied yet, you're already almost falling. Tsukishima laughed in his face and left the room, leaving behind a stunned Kyorou. Screw you, damn salt shaker. The more people around him joked about his hypothetical feelings for his friend, the less funnier it got. Especially when a part of him felt a little disappointed over Kenma's choice and he had no idea why. Kyorou glanced at the closet as he walked past it and sighed. Monday rolled around and the inside of the gym felt like a whole new world for Kenma. The sound of sneakers squeaking against the floor and the rhythmic thumping of volleyballs echoed through the gym as the Nakoma team warmed up. Kenma stood by the door, glancing around nervously. He wasn't sure if this was a mistake. Why am I even here? He adjusted the strap of his bag, already feeling out of place. For Kenma, it was just another reminder of something he'd left behind. He watched as the team set up for practice, his chest tightening with uncertainty. Kenma. Kyorou's voice snapped him out of his thoughts, his signature grin wide as he waved him over. You made it. Kenma awkwardly stepped forward, trying to ignore the eyes turning in his direction. Kenma. Oh, he was wearing sneakers and a Nakoma volleyball jersey, making it clear he wasn't just here to observe. Some of the players noticed the change immediately and the quiet buzz of whispers followed him as he walked into the gym. What's with you wearing the Nakoma jersey? Aren't you just here to watch us play like usual? Yeah, didn't expect to see him with sneakers on. Kenma gave a small nervous wave, already regretting his decision. Are you sure about this? Kyorou slung an arm around him, pulling him into a friendly side hug. Just relax, Kenma, you're not here to impress anyone, just have fun. Kenma gave a half-hearted nod, but his insides were still knotted with anxiety. He wasn't used to being on the court anymore. His fingers were more accustomed to the buttons on his controller than the rough surface of a volleyball. Everyone, Kenma is going to participate in the tryouts to see if he can play in our team. Whoa, Kenma's going to try out? Let's see what you've got, Kenma. Yaku walked over and tossed a ball in his direction. The ball flew towards Kenma faster than he expected. His instinct kicked in and without thinking his hands shot up perfectly, receiving the ball with an almost effortless touch. The gym fell quiet for a moment. Even Kenma blinked, staring at the ball that had landed cleanly in his hands. He hadn't expected his muscle memory to kick in so quickly. Left's eyes widened in surprise while Yaku's lips curled into a smirk. Not bad, but I can probably do better than that. The day you can do that, pigs will learn to fly. Yaku kicked Lev from behind, making him yelp. See, Kuru nudged him. Told you you've still got it. Maybe I'm not as bad as I thought. Practice moved forward with the players setting up various drills. Kenma stuck close to Kuru, who would occasionally offer a word of advice or a quiet comment to ease the tension. The familiar steps of setting and passing came back to him, and for the first time in a long while Kenma didn't feel so out of place. The more the drills went on, the more Kenma started to loosen up. He wasn't perfect and there were a few fumbles here and there, but Kuru's constant encouragement kept him grounded. After about an hour, Kenma was drenched in sweat and the coach called for a break. He slumped onto the bench, pulling out his water bottle. His muscles ached, but there was a weird sense of satisfaction bubbling up in his chest. Kenma, you did amazing. You should definitely be in our team. Yeah, I agree with him, you were awesome. Yeah, not bad dude, you've got skills. Didn't think you had it in you. Thanks guys. Kuru dropped down beside him, throwing an arm around his shoulders again. You did great today. Kenma shrugged, trying to downplay the warmth spreading through him. I guess it wasn't that bad. Kuru leaned closer, his voice quieter now. Told you this team would be lucky to have you. The proximity sent a flush of heat to Kenma's face, his voice sending him shivers down his spine, leaving him momentarily flustered. Just as Kenma was about to respond, the gym door swung open with a loud creak and a figure stepped inside. Who's that? The sudden shift in the atmosphere was immediate. Heads turned and even Kuru straightened up, his playful grin fading as his eyes locked on the person who had just entered. Kenma's gaze followed everyone else's, landing on a familiar face he had never seen before. The room buzzed with whispers as the figure approached, their presence commanding attention. He looked a bit older, carrying himself with a mix of confidence and something else Kenma couldn't quite place, something a little more unsettling. His eyes scanned the room before settling on Kuru. For the first time since Kenma had known him, Kuru looked rattled. Holy crap, is that? Yeah, Kuru muttered, still frozen in place. That's him. The man walked up to Kuru and all the confidence drained from Kuru's face. Hey, Kuru looked like he was holding onto a breath he didn't know how to exhale. His usually sharp demeanor softened into something vulnerable, something raw. You're back. Yeah, I am. Kuru swallowed, his eyebrows furrowing as a mixture of emotions flickered in his eyes, hurt, confusion, maybe even anger. Why? Before he could answer, Yaku jumped in, sensing the shift in Kuru's mood. He stepped forward with a bright grin, attempting to diffuse the awkward tension hanging in the air. Fujimura, you're back. Yaku, you still haven't grown much, huh? Lev leaned in toward Fukunaga with an amused grin. Ooh, he's gonna get it. Shut up, I'm just kidding. How's your knee? You know, after the surgery? Oh, it's doing better. Took a long time to heal, but I can move around fine now. I just have to be careful not to overdo it. Good to hear. So why are you back? You gonna start playing again? The gym grew quieter as more of the players noticed the man's return. Kenma glanced at Kuru, catching the tension still hanging in his posture. Actually no, I'm not risking injuring myself again, especially since it's my last year here. Before Yaku could respond, the coach clapped his hands, stepping into the conversation. He's here to be the team's manager. The coach's words sent a ripple through the gym. Whispers spread among the team as players exchanged curious glances and the man's gaze drifted back to Kuru. For those of you who don't know him, this is Shota Fujimura. He used to be on the team before his injury and from now on he'll be your manager. Make sure to welcome him back. Kenma's eyes flicked toward Kuru, who was still visibly thrown by the announcement. What? The man shifted awkwardly on his feet, unsure how to respond to Kuru's reaction, but Yaku quickly jumped in to keep things moving. Well, Fujimura, welcome back. Hopefully we don't make your job as manager too hard on you. Kenma couldn't take his eyes off Kuru, noticing the way his friend's discomfort lingered in his stiff posture and the subtle tightness in his jaw. Who is this guy? Why does he have Kuru so rattled? From a few feet away, Fukunaga and Yamamoto began whispering. Oh, he's back, huh? Do you know who that is? Yeah, that's Shota Fujimura. He used to play on the team last year. Huh, weird, I don't think I've ever heard about him. Probably because he wasn't a starter, you know how it goes. Yeah, that makes sense. He seems pretty close with the others though. Not so much with the captain. Their conversation looked awkward. So I'm not the only one who noticed that. Oh, I remember there was some kind of rumor going around about him and Kuru back then. Kenma's ears perked up at that. Wait, really? Like what kind of rumor? People said they were going out but there wasn't really any proof or anything. Or maybe they were just really good at hiding it. Yamamoto and Fukunaga shot a grinning Lev a curious look. Even Kenma couldn't help but glance over at Lev, processing what he'd just heard. If you guys have time to gossip, you sure as hell have time to practice your receives. Lev, Yamamoto and Fukunaga's eyes widened and they scrambled back into the drills, leaving Kenma standing there with an uneasy knot forming in his stomach. He glanced back at Shota Fujimura, who happened to meet his gaze, and smiled. Why do I feel so uneasy? The rest of practice carried on like usual, but the atmosphere felt off. Kenma couldn't shake the strange energy in the gym, and every time he glanced at Kuru he noticed a slight falter in his movements, the way his usual precision and sharpness seemed dulled. He wasn't himself, and it was clear that the presence of his rumored ex had thrown him off his game. By the time practice ended, Kenma wiped sweat from his brow, sneaking another glance at Kuru, who was packing up his things with a strained look on his face. Kenma hesitated but then stepped closer. Are you okay? Kuru looked up startled, then quickly plastered on a faint smile. Yes, sorry, just one of those days, I guess. You know, even captains mess up sometimes. Before Kenma could say anything else, Kuru slung his arm around him, pulling him in close, his tone suddenly more lighthearted. How about we grab something to eat? I'm starving. Kenma blinked, hesitating for just a second before a small smile tugged at his lips. He nodded. Sure. Just as they were about to leave, though, Fujimura stepped up, his expression unreadable. Kuru, can we talk for a minute? The air between them felt thick with unresolved tension. Kenma watched the exchange with bated breath, feeling like an outsider intruding on something private. Kuru's face hardened, his voice was firm but not unkind. There's nothing to talk about, Fujimura. I'm glad you're doing okay, really, but that's it. Fujimura's eyes flicked down to Kuru's arm around Kenma, his gaze lingering just a little too long, as if noticing how close they seemed. His mouth opened as if to protest, but Kuru didn't give him the chance. Let's go, Kenma. And with that, Kuru steered Kenma toward the exit, leaving Fujimura standing in the middle of the gym watching them walk away. Kuru seemed dazed during the walk from school to the restaurant. They didn't talk much even after ordering their food. Kenma could feel the weight of unspoken thoughts between them. Hey Kuro, yeah, are you sure you're okay? Yes, I am. You asked this before too. Do I not seem okay? Should I be honest with him? Is it even my place to pry into his business? But he's been such a good friend to me. The least I can do is be honest. Honestly, no. You seem like you want to be anywhere but here. There was a moment of silence. Kuru's gaze dropped from Kenma to the Ramayan in front of him, a faint smile tugging at his lips. I'm okay, Kenma, really. Sorry if I'm being bothersome, but ever since Fujimura showed up you haven't seemed like yourself. You're not bothersome at all. You never are. Honestly, I'd just rather not talk about it if you don't mind. It's a lot right now. Kuru's eyes reflected something deeper, hurt even though his smile tried to hide it. His eyes widened when he felt an unexpected hand on his. He slowly looked up only to find Kenma staring down at him with a soft smile, a warmth Kuru wasn't expecting. You don't have to talk about it, just know that I'm always here for you, with ears to listen and a shoulder to lean on. Okay. Kuru smiled, genuinely this time, for the first time that evening, and nodded, giving Kenma's hand a tight squeeze. I really appreciate that, Kenma. I wonder what he did to make you look so hurt. Kuru glanced away, seemingly hesitant, then his voice softened. By the way, you were so fucking awesome today. Kenma's smile grew ear to ear at the compliment, but in the back of his mind he couldn't help but notice one thing. He's not letting go of my hand. Thank you. Honestly, I didn't think I had it in me either. Do you think my play was enough to make it? Kuru's eyes softened as he looked at him. I'm sure you have. Whatever you brought with you today was more than enough. You've got this, Kenma. Kenma's heart fluttered at the reassurance. His grip tightened around Kuru's hand, feeling a little more at ease. You really think so? I know so. You're way too hard on yourself. Kenma glanced away, his smile returning. So Kenma, how's the streaming going? Still hustling on the side, huh? I'm getting by, though I'm pretty sure I have more followers than you now. Oh, bold of you to assume I'd even compete with you in streaming. Kenma chuckled, glancing at their hands still intertwined. Just admit you're jealous. Jealous? Not eager to mooch off your money? Definitely. He winked and Kenma felt his heart stutter. They continued to banter, the air between them finally feeling lighter. Kuru teased Kenma about his odd habits, marveling at how he managed to survive on instant noodles and energy drinks. As they wrapped up their meal, Kuru's tone shifted slightly. Hey, can I walk you home tonight? Kenma blinked, caught off guard by the unexpected question. Won't that be tedious for you? Nah, I don't care about that. I just want to. There was so much sincerity in Kuru's voice that it made Kenma's heart leap a little. Yeah. Kuru smiled and they left the restaurant, walking side by side. Their hands brushed once or twice, but neither said a word about it. The streets were quiet, only the occasional hum of passing cars filling the silence. When they finally reached Kenma's dorm, they both hesitated at the door. Well, this is you. Yeah. thanks for walking me. Kuru leaned against the doorframe looking unusually relaxed. Anytime. They shared a lingering glance not knowing what to say, not that they needed to as their eyes seemed to do most of the talking. Can I? Kuru whispered, not taking his eyes off Kenma. Hug you? Kenma swallowed, his heart beating out of his chest, and he nodded hesitantly. Kuru stepped forward, wrapping his arms around Kenma in a hug that felt different, warmer, deeper. It lingered longer than their usual casual embraces. Kenma's cheek brushed against Kuru's shoulder and the familiar scent of him filled the air, making Kenma feel strangely at ease yet flustered at the same time. His arms instinctively tightened around Kuru, not wanting to let go just yet. But when they finally did pull away, something shifted. Kenma looked up and realized they were still standing close, too close, barely inches apart. Kuru's face hovered right in front of him, their breaths mingling. Kenma's eyes locked with Kuru's and his heart skipped a beat. Has Kuru always looked this good? Oh God, what am I thinking? The tension was so thick it was suffocating. Kenma's pulse quickened and for a moment neither of them moved. Why is he looking at me like that? And why do I kind of like it? Just as the air felt like it would snap, a loud ringtone shattered the moment. Shit. Kuru flinched and awkwardly fumbled for his phone in his pocket. Kenma blinked, breaking out of his trance. I'm sorry, that was my roommate, wanted to know if I wanted leftover pizza. Kuru muttered, looking at his phone and stepping back, the spell broken. It's okay. Kenma replied, trying to steady his heartbeat though his thoughts were still spinning. It's late anyway. Kuru cleared his throat, pocketing his phone. Yeah, it is. Good night, Kuro. I will see you tomorrow, right? Yeah, of course. Kuru smiled. Good night, Kenma. They shared one more glance, a shadow of the earlier tension lingering before Kuru turned and walked down the hall. Kenma watched him go, still trying to make sense of what had just happened. As soon as the door clicked shut behind him, Kenma let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding. Fuck, I wasn't imagining it, right? Wait, so like, you mean to tell me, you tried out for the Nakoma team? Yeah, bro, I'm so excited for you, what the heck? I didn't expect this. Thanks IDK. How to feel though? You should feel happy. I am, but is this something I want? I'm scared it might turn out like last time. Kenma, I know you, no matter who convinces you, you won't do something you don't like. It'll be okay, BB, like you have Kuru on your side if something goes wrong. You're right, though I'm not sure if Kuru is even himself. What do you mean? Well, someone who's rumored to be his ex came back and ever since then he's been a lil off. Whoa, shit's messy, huh? Yeah, I'm a lil concerned. Just be there for him. I'm sure if there actually is something going on, he'll need a shoulder to cry on. You're right. Something weird happened too. What happened? He wanted to walk me home and then asked to hug, but it didn't feel like a regular hug. What? What does that mean? Wait, I gotta BRB. Huh, you can't just leave me hanging. Kenma was about to call out when he noticed someone else standing there. Fujimura. Kenma's heart sank. He quickly ducked behind the vending machine, his heart racing. Kuru and Fujimura. Talking? Tetsu, I didn't think you'd actually talk to me. He calls him Tetsu. I'm not here to talk for long. What do you want? Kuru's voice was low, cold even, but Kenma could hear the hurt woven through it. There was a pause as if Fujimura was searching for the right words. I wanted to clear the air. I know things ended badly, but we were good together, weren't we? Before everything went wrong? So they are exes. Kenma felt his chest tighten. I don't know what you expect me to say, Fujimura. It's over, it's been over. But you can't just pretend like nothing ever happened between us. We shared something real, didn't we? There was another pause. Kenma dared to peek out from behind the machine just in time to see Kuru run a hand through his hair, frustration etched on his face. You threw that away. I didn't. Fujimura took a step closer, his voice softer now, almost pleading. I know I made mistakes, but I still care about you. I always have. It doesn't matter anymore. You made your choice and I've made mine. Tetsu, I know you're just denying it. You still care about me. I can see it. You need to stop. It's over. I'm not giving up. I know you, Tetsu. You're just afraid to admit it. Fujimura, stop. Shota. You always called me Shota. Fujimura, just give up. No, I won't. Kuru's eyes flickered and for a split second they landed directly on Kenma's hiding spot. Kenma's heart froze.